Well, good morning. Happy Saturday. I hope you're all home safe and healthy. This morning, my plan is to move through some flow movements, just get our bodies moving a little bit, eventually working towards some stretching for longer periods of time, holding poses for longer periods of time. As a reminder, if anything that I cue or any poses that I try to put you in, if they don't feel good for your body, please don't do them. You always have the option to skip anything that doesn't feel good. We may sweat a little bit, but this is supposed to be an all levels flow, but again, feel free to take any breaks, skip anything that doesn't feel good or that you don't want to do. So to get started, we will go ahead and find a comfortable seat. We're just going to come and connect with our breath for a moment, a couple of moments. So go ahead and find a comfortable seat. You can cross your legs can be extended long if that feels better for you, but we're going to find a nice and tall spine. Crown of the head pulls toward the ceiling like there's a string attaching the crown of your head to the ceiling. Go ahead and close your eyes. Relax your shoulders, let the chest be open. Hands can be on your knees or your thighs or maybe even on your lap. And just begin to connect with your breath. Following your inhales through the nostrils, down the back of the throat, to the chest, to the belly, and then back out the way that it came. Taking a couple of moments here just to connect with each inhale and each exhale. Noticing how your body feels today, how your breath feels, if it's short, if it's relaxed, wherever it is, it's okay. Just simply approach each breath with curiosity. Maybe noticing the temperature of the inhales as they enter your nostrils, and the temperature of the breath as it leaves the nostrils. Couple more breaths here. Take a really deep inhale, filling the lungs, the chest, the belly, all the way with air. Exhale through the mouth, sighing, letting it all go. I'll do that 2 more times. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. 1 more time, deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. Go ahead and open your eyes, and we're going to bring the left hand to the right knee or to the right thigh. The right hand moves behind you. Inhale, find a really tall spine, lengthening through your core. And then as you exhale, find a twist to the right, maybe gazing beyond your right shoulder. We're going to hold here in this twist for 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale, twist a little bit more. 1 more breath, deep inhale. Exhale, twist a tiny bit more. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, let it go. And then we're going to bring the right hand to the left thigh. Left hand moves behind you. Deep inhale as you find that length again in the spine. Exhale, twisting to the left, maybe gazing beyond the left shoulder. 2 more breaths, deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. 1 more time, deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, coming back through center. Exhale, let it go. We're going to plant the right hand on the ground beside you, and we're going to sweep the left hand, the left arm above head, bicep towards the ear. Your gaze can be towards the ceiling or towards the hand. You can slowly walk out your right hand. So find a little bit deeper of an extension on the left side body. As you inhale, fill the left rib cage with air. Exhale, find a little bit deeper of a bend. We'll do that 2 more times. Deep inhale to the ribs. Exhale, bend. 1 more time. Deep inhale. Exhale, bend. Inhale, come back through center. And we're going to plant the left hand on the ground, sweep the right arm above head, bicep towards ear. Gaze towards the ceiling or towards your hand. And again, you can slowly walk your left hand out. As you inhale, send the inhale to the right ribs. Exhale, bend. 2 more breaths, deep inhale. Exhale, bend. 1 more breath in. Exhale. Inhale, come back through center. Before we get moving, let's just take a couple of moments to warm up our neck. Let's drop the chin towards the chest, lengthening through the back of the spine, through the back of the neck. Shoulders are relaxed. Hands can be on your knees or your thighs. And then slowly start to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Stretching through the left side of your neck, letting your head be heavy, your ear be heavy towards your shoulders. You can close your eyes here if it feels okay. Sending the breath to the left side of the neck, seeing if you can find a little bit more space there. Bring your chin back down towards your chest. And then slowly roll your left ear towards your left shoulder. Extending through the right side of your neck. Again, your head is heavy, your ear is heavy towards your shoulder. Sending the breath to the right side. Chin back down to chest. And let's just go ahead and make some circles here with your neck. You can take your time pausing anywhere that your neck needs some extra love and attention. Moving as slowly or quickly as you like. Just making big circles with your neck. Switch directions with your circles, evening it out. Come back through center. And then we're going to make our way to our hands and knees for tabletop. Wrists are stacked underneath shoulders. Knees are stacked underneath your hips. Tops of the feet are on the mat or the ground, wherever you're at. Take a look back at your toes just to make sure that they're in line with the knees rather than pigeon-toeing in towards each other. Once you get that sorted, press your palms into the ground like they're suction cups, like really trying to get all points of the palm firmly on the ground. And just notice how it changes any sensations in the top of your hand or maybe even in your wrists and forearms. Gaze is ahead of you, tall neutral spine here, belly button in towards the spine. Tabletop, like you're literally a tabletop in your front room, or a coffee table in your front room. We're going to slowly begin to drop the belly, pull the chest. All right, so we're going to leave, hopefully we're going to pick it back where we were. Sorry about the video crashing. Technology, guys. Okay, so we're back in tabletop. We've done some cat and cows. And we're just going to push back to a child's pose for a couple of breaths. Pushing your seat back to your heels. Your knees can be wide or they can be together, totally up to you. And we're going to walk the hands a little bit forward and try to pull the chest down towards the ground. And maybe the forehead even comes down to the ground. If not, you can always bring your hands near your forehead and rest your forehead on your hands. We're just gonna hold here for a couple of breaths. Really breathing deeply, breathing into the chest and then to the back of the ribs, creating space. And then relaxing a little bit deeper with each exhale. Couple more breaths. All right, take a deep inhale and then slither forward back to your tabletop. And then keep your natural breath here, but we're gonna start making circles around your wrist, just warming up the wrists here. Palms are against suction cups on the ground, and we're rotating circularly around the wrists here. Shifting weight to the different parts of the palm, to the different parts of the hand. Switch directions with your wrists. Come back through center. We're gonna walk the knees back a couple of inches so that we can lower all the way down to the ground. Keep your elbows zipped into your ribcage as you lower all the way down to the ground. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Hands are underneath, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. And then as you inhale, press your belly into the mat, lift your chest. Baby cobra. Exhale, back down to the ground. We're gonna do that a couple of more times. As you inhale, lift your chest, baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Deep inhale, lifting your chest as high as you can, gaze forward. Holding the elbows in towards the ribs. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release down to the ground. Hands move in front of you, making a pillow to rest your forehead. You can shake your hips back and forth from side to side. All right, let's bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. We're gonna push up to a tabletop. Tuck the toes, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here. Shake your head yes and no. Couple breaths here, filling the chest again with air. All right, we're gonna try something new. We're gonna slither forward to high plank. This may be a little bit challenging, so if your wrists are sensitive, go ahead and drop to your knees and hold here for as long as feels okay. Otherwise, lift your knees back into high plank. And then we're gonna slowly start to lower the knees, but keeping the spine strong and the core strong. We're gonna lower the knees until they tap on the ground. And then lift the knees back to high plank. That's 1. Slowly start to drop your knees down to the ground, gently tapping. That's 2, high plank. Slowly start lowering down, knees come to tap, high plank. Tap your knees one more time. High plank, press down, press back to downward facing dog. Hold here for 2 more breaths. All right, slither forward back to your high plank. This time we're gonna drop the knees to hover a couple of inches above the ground, and we're just gonna hold here with a strong spine, strong core, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop to your knees, untuck your toes, press back to a child's pose. Checking in with your breath, checking in with your heartbeat. Deep inhale, filling the ribs, the belly with air. Deep exhale, letting it all go. All right, let's slither forward back to our tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, high plank, and then push back to downward facing dog. Slowly start to walk your feet towards the top of the mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Grab opposite elbows here. You can sway and ragdoll. And as a reminder, you can always have a bend in your knees here if your hamstrings or lower back are tight. It's not a requirement to have super straight knees. And sway from side to side. Each sway may be finding a little bit more length in your spine. All right, release your elbows, and as you inhale, sweep arms up, coming to stand tall. Fingertips reach toward the ceiling. Exhale, hands come down to the sides. All right, we're gonna run through a Surya Namaskara A, or Sun Salutation A. Inhale, sweep arms up, stretching tall. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands come to shins, flat back, crown of the head pulls forward. Exhale, fold forward. Plant your hands, step back to your high plank. Option to drop to your knees. We're gonna bend the elbows and do a chaturanga, so elbows stay zipped into your rib cage. Chest pulls forward, gaze forward, chaturanga. As you inhale, tops of the feet come to the mat, pulling the chest forward, up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips back, downward facing dog. Holding here for 3 breaths. You can walk your feet up a couple of inches to try to get the heels a little bit closer to the ground. But again, you can have a bend in your knees here if you need to protect your hamstrings and lower back. 1 more breath. Inhale, look between your hands, start walking to the top of the mat. Hands come to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Go ahead and walk your feet out a couple of inches so they're a little bit wider than hip distance. And then we're gonna bend the knees however much you need to grab a hold of your big toes with your peace fingers. Pressing the big toes into the peace fingers. Inhale, look forward, try to find your flat back. And then as you exhale, pull into the toes, pulling the crown of the head towards the ground, finding more length in the spine. Holding here for 3 more breaths. Each inhale, pulling the crown of the head a little bit closer towards the ground. Each exhale, folding a little bit deeper. 1 more breath. Release the toes, and as you inhale, sweep arms up, coming to stand tall. Exhale, hands come down to the sides. All right, we're gonna run through a Surya Namaskara B. We're gonna start bending the knees, sinking the hips back, sweeping the arms forward, chair pose. Strong core, belly button in towards spine. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back. Drop the right knee, untuck the right toes. Option to stay here, or if you feel stable, you can sweep arms up, finding your low lunge. Couple of breaths here. If you'd like a little bit of a back bend, you can bring your hands to meet. Gaze moves upwards. Chest moves forward. Tiny bit of a back bend here. Cartwheel the hands back down to the ground. Plant your hands to frame your foot. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Step your left foot back to your high plank. Option to drop to your knees or move through a vinyasa flow of your choice, shifting your weight forward, bending your elbows, chaturanga push-up. Inhale, up dog, untucking the toes. Exhale, down dog, tucking the toes. We're going to lift the right leg high to the sky. We're going to step it through the hands. Drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. Option again to stay here or sweep arms up into low lunge. Check in with your hips here. Make sure that they're square to the top of the mat. You may have a tendency to bring one hip further back or forward. Just check in to make sure that they're square. Option again for a little bit of a back bend, bringing your hands together. Gaze lifts toward the ceiling, chest lifts towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Cartwheel your hands back down to frame your foot. Tuck your back toes. Lift your back knee. Then we're going to step the left foot to meet the right in our forward fold. Hands come to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. This time, we're going to walk our hands underneath the soles of our feet. So tops of the hands come to the ground. Step onto your palm here if you can. You can again have a bend in your knees if you need. Your toes may come up to your wrists or maybe just on your fingers, totally up to you and what you want to do today. Inhale as you gaze forward, trying to find that flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Couple of breaths here. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit more with each exhale. Begin to walk your hands out from underneath the soles of your feet. Begin bending your knees, sinking your hips back, sweeping arms forward, chair pose. Holding here for 2 breaths. Kind of like you're squeezing an imaginary block between your legs. One more breath. As you inhale, arms sweep up, legs straighten. Exhale, hands move down to your sides. All right, we'll do that again, but slightly different. All right, so we're going to bend the knees again. Sweeping arms up, finding chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left foot back this time. Keeping the heel lifted, we're going to sweep arms up, finding high lunge. Option again for that little bit of a back bend, hands can move, your palms can move to touch. Gaze lifts, chest lifts. One more deep breath here. We're going to move the hands down to the hips and we're going to pivot the back heel down. The back foot should be at about a 45-degree angle. We're going to find warrior 1 here. So your hips may now be more square to the corner of the mat rather than totally forward. Once you figure out where your hips are, sweep arms up, kind of like goalposts, finding warrior 1. You can maybe bend a little bit deeper in that front leg. And then we're going to peel open to warrior 2. So back foot moves to be parallel to the back of your mat. Chest opens to the side of the mat. Arms are now a T. Front leg is still bent. Gaze moves to your right fingertips. Sort of like you're shooting energy opposite directions of both your hands, both of your middle fingers. One more breath here. As you inhale, sweep arms up, lift that back heel, moving back to high lunge. Hips now square to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot back to meet left in high plank. Option to move through a vinyasa flow or a push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Check in with your breath here. Lift your left leg, stepping it high to the sky. And then step it through your hands. First, finding your high lunge. So find your stability here in the lunge. Fingertips on the ground. And whenever you're ready, sweep arms up. High lunge. Hips are square to the top of the mat. And again, if you'd like that little bit of a back bend, palms come to meet. Gaze lifts toward the ceiling. And then chest lifts toward the ceiling. Keep breathing, don't forget to breathe. All right, we're gonna bring our hands again down to our hips. Pivot that back heel down. Back foot's out now at a 45-degree angle. Hips are now sort of square to the corner, the right corner of the mat. Once you find your warrior one legs, sweep arms up, gaze forward, maybe find a little bit deeper of a bend in that front leg. Strong warrior stance, channeling your fierceness. And then we're going to peel open to your warrior two. So, back foot is now parallel to the back of the mat. Chest peels open to the side of the mat. Arms are now a T. And then gaze moves to your left fingertips. Maybe again finding a deeper bend in that front leg. 2 more breaths here. All right, when you are ready, we're going to lift that back heel, sweep hands up, hips now square to the top of the mat. And as you exhale, plant your hands. We're going to step the right foot to meet the left in our forward fold. Hands come to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. This time, go ahead and try to grab the back of your calves, or the back of your ankles. And just see if you can use that pull to bring your chest a little bit closer to your knees or to your thighs. Couple more breaths here. All right, release your ankles or your calves, and as you inhale, sweep arms up, coming to stand tall. Exhale, hands come down to the sides. For the one-legged balance today, I thought it would be fun to try a one-legged chair. So, we're going to find our chair stance first. Go ahead and have your feet about hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider, just depending on how you're feeling. We're going to start bending the knees, sweeping the arms up, shifting the hips back. Weight is sort of concentrated on the back of the heels. You may be able even to lift your toes off the ground. To move into our one-legged chair here, we're going to start really slowly by coming onto the tippy toes. We're going to start shifting the weight onto the left leg, trying to keep your hips pretty even as to where they are right now, and then start lifting your right foot, coming onto your tippy toes. So this may be enough for you. It's a lot of work on the left leg. Option to try to lift that right toe off the ground just a couple of inches. Keeping the left leg nice and steady if you can. Holding for one more breath. And as you exhale, right foot comes back down to the ground. You can straighten legs, arms can come down, just shake it out. Notice the difference between your legs, if one feels like it's on fire and one feels totally fine. When you're ready, let's move on to the other side. We're going to sweep the arms up and the knees, sinking back into your chair pose. Strong core, strong spine. Start shifting the weight to the right leg. Maybe moving onto the tippy toes of the left foot. When you're ready, go ahead and try to lift the left toes off the ground. Keeping the knee over the ankle. It may have a tendency to move in or out. And one side may feel totally easier or just different than the other. One more breath. As you exhale, bring the left foot back down to the ground. Straighten the legs, then fold forward. Giving your arms a rest here, grab opposite elbows again, ragdoll. Release the elbows, sweep arms up, coming to stand tall. Exhale, hands come down to the sides. Good work, guys. All right, we're gonna move into holding some poses for a little bit longer. Inhale. To get there, we'll move through a salutation though. So inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank. Option to skip the vinyasa and move straight to down dog. Otherwise, weight shifts forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the right leg high to the sky. And then we're going to step it to the outside of the right hand at a 45-degree angle. We'll start with having I'll move a little bit. We'll start by having the knee really in close to the shoulder. Holding here in lizard just for a couple of breaths. Lunging forward, opening through that left hip. And then we're going to drop the back knee, untuck the back toes. And a couple of different options here. So you can stay here. Option to come down to your forearms. And then option to move to the right, to the nice edge of the right foot. So letting your knee sort of flay out, if it feels okay, for a little bit deeper of a hip stretch. We're going to hold here for 10 breaths. Using each breath to settle a little bit deeper into the shape. Noticing any micro movements your body's making with each breath. 5 more breaths. Two more breaths. One more deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. We're going to plant the hands again underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're going to step the right foot to meet the left. And then option for a flow. Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. And then we're going to lift the left leg high to the sky. Step it to the outside of your left hand, 45-degree angle, and we're going to hang here for a couple of breaths, keeping that back knee lifted. The left knee is in towards the left shoulder. Couple more breaths here. All right, let's bring the right knee down to the ground and tuck the right toes. Option to stay here or come down to your forearms again. And option to sort of peel out to the nice edge of your left foot, letting the left knee play out. 10 breaths here. This is a difficult shape. If you ever feel tired or you don't want to do it anymore, you can move back to a child's pose. 5 more breaths. Two more breaths. 1 more deep inhale. Exhale. Plant the hands again underneath the shoulders. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Left foot moves back to right, finding your high plank. Option for one last vinyasa flow. Your arms might be tired. Option to drop to your knees. Up dog and down dog. And then drop to your knees, wide-legged child's pose. The toes become untucked. Big toes can overlap with each other. And then the knees can be met with distance apart or wider if that feels okay, leaving plenty of space for your chest to melt towards the ground and your forehead to melt towards the ground. Check in with your breath, check in with your heart. Check in with the different sensations in your body. Noticing if anything feels tired or sore. Begin walking your hands back towards your body. We're going to swing the legs around. Excuse me. And both feet are going to be extended in front of you. So you may want to remove any flesh, remove the flesh underneath to connect your sits bones a little bit closer to the ground. And as you inhale, sweep arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs and grab a hold of your toes, your ankles, your shins. And you can also have a bend in your knees here if you need. You can allow your spine to round. We're going to be here for about a minute. Couple more breaths. Allowing the chest to be heavier towards the knees and the thighs. Allowing the neck to relax, the head to be heavy. Letting the chest be open. Letting the air really go into the chest and the belly. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards your body, coming to a tall spine. We're going to find a half butterfly shape. So we're going to bend the right knee, bringing the right sole of the foot towards the left thigh, meeting the left thigh. And then we're going to rotate the torso so that it's as in line with the left leg as it can be. So it's going to be a tiny bit of a twist. Then we're going to begin to walk the hands down the sides of the left leg, finding your edge here. And again, you can have a bend in your knee if you need. Option to round your spine, let your head be heavy. If you can grab a hold of your toes or your feet, please feel free to do that. Sending the breath to the right ribs and maybe even to the right hip. Finding extra space there on the right side of the body. extend your right leg to meet your left. Take a moment just to notice the difference in the size of the body. And then we're going to bend the left knee, bring the left sole of the foot to the right thigh. Again, shifting the torso so that it's as in line with that right leg as you can get it. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. And then begin walking your hands down the side of your right leg. Finding the edge of your stretch here that feels good. Once you do, you can go ahead and round your spine. Head can be heavy. Grabbing a hold of your ankle. You can keep your hand on the ground, or maybe even grabbing for your toes or your foot. And then sending your breath to the left side body, to the left hip, to the left ribs, to the space between the hip and ribs. Each inhale is a new opportunity to create some space, and each exhale an opportunity to let something go, something that's not serving you, maybe some tightness that's not serving you, or maybe any thoughts that aren't serving you. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards your body. Again, not moving the spine too quickly. Bring both feet out in front of you again. Just taking a moment to notice the legs, notice the hips, notice the whole body. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring the soles of the feet to meet, bending the knees. We're going to find a butterfly shape. So with the butterfly shape, the further away your feet are from the rest of your body, the less intense it'll be on your hips. The closer they are, the little bit more of an intense hip opener it will be. So we're going to peel open the soles of the feet, kind of like they're a book. You can bring your hands to your feet. You can peel open the arches of your feet with your thumbs. And just notice how it changes the rest of your legs. It may allow your knees to go a little bit deeper towards the ground. So you have the option to fold over this shape if it feels okay. If it feels weird, you can bring the soles of your feet together, sort of like they're bound together, and then fold forward. Either way, find your edge here, folding over your feet. And then once it feels like it's kind of your edge, you can go ahead and round your spine. Let the forehead go towards your soles of your feet. And you can keep your hands on your feet, or you can bring your forearms to the ground, or keeping your hands on the ground, whatever you need to support this shape. And then send your breath to your lower back, to your hips. Trying to let go of tension in the lower back and then the hips. Trying to release the muscles all up and down the spine. Couple more breaths here. With these last few breaths, I invite you to take really deep inhales, creating lots of space. Exhale dramatically. See if you can bend a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths deep. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. 1 more breath in. Exhale, let it go. And then slowly start to walk your hands back towards your body. Again, going very slowly, not too abruptly on the spine. Then we're gonna bring the knees together. Separate the feet about mat width distance apart. Plant your hands behind you, however is comfortable. Your hands don't need to be any certain way. We're just gonna windshield wiper the knees here. Draping one in at a time and maybe even letting the opposite knee sort of flay out. You can just do one at a time. All right, let's come back through center. We're gonna extend both legs out in front of us again. We're gonna try another funky little pose here. We're gonna find a half lotus variation. So we're gonna bend the right knee in towards your body. We're gonna cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. So this may be enough for you. Option to bring your right heel closer to your left hip. Keeping the left toes pointed towards the ceiling, the left leg is going to be nice and active. Reach behind you. Both hands come behind you to clasp. Maybe the palms touch, maybe they don't. Open through the shoulders. Open through the chest, deep inhale. And then as you exhale, fold forward over your half lotus shape. Just going to hold here for 3 more breaths. Each inhale pulling the chest forward, each exhale going a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath, deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Slowly come back up. Straight spine, release your hands behind you. Relax your left foot. And then we're gonna bring the right foot to meet the left. Both legs extended, just shake them out for a moment. And then when you're ready, left knee bends, bringing it in towards your upper body. We're gonna cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Again, option to stay here if this is enough for you, or you can bring your left heel towards your right thigh. Bring your hands behind you, clasping your hands. Inhale as you open through your chest. Right toes are nice and active again towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, fold forward. 3 more breaths here. Inhale, pulling the chest forward. Exhale, going a little bit deeper. 2 more breaths. One more deep inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come back up. Release your hands behind you. Relax your toes. And then we're going to bring the left foot again to meet the right. And just shake it out. All right, the last seated pose we will do here before moving to our backs is a straddle. So go ahead and separate your feet as far as you'd like. You can have a narrow straddle if that feels best for you. You can have a really wide straddle, totally up to you and what feels good for you today. And you can again remove the flesh underneath your sits bones here to help connect you a little bit closer to the ground. And then we're gonna keep our tall, straight spine, belly button in towards the spine. We're gonna start walking the hands forward, trying to keep that straight back as long as we can. Hinging at the hips. Once you can't hinge anymore, go ahead and round your spine. Your forearms can come to the ground. If this is really intense on your hamstrings, you can always have a little bit of a bend in your knees. Each inhale, chest pulls slightly forward. Exhale, folding a little bit deeper. Scanning the body for any muscles that you can relax with the exhale. Maybe in your shoulders, it may be up and along your spine. It may be even in your wrists or your ankles, your fingers or your toes. option for these last couple of breaths to bring your hands to your ankles or to your toes. And as you inhale, find your neutral spine again, pulling the chest forward. And as you exhale, moving your chest down towards the ground, but keeping your hands on your shins or your ankles. Bring your hands back down to the ground. Push yourself back up to a tall spine. And then we're going to bring our feet together. Bring your knees to your chest. And then we're going to make our way to our spine. So you have the option to sort of roll onto your spine, if that feels good. And you can sort of roll back and forth. Eventually coming to your spine, knees to chest. Or you can gently lay down from the seat position. Keeping your knees in towards your chest for a moment, just begin to make circles, massaging your lower back. Releasing the work from those seated forward folds. They're really intense on the lower back. Switch directions with your circles. Come back through center. And then we're going to bring the left sole of the foot down to the ground, keeping the right knee in towards the chest. And we're going to extend the left leg actually all the way down to the ground, so it's going to be straight. The heel is on the ground, the toes are pointing towards the ceiling. We're going to bring the right arm into the inside of the right leg, and we're going to grab a hold of the right big toe with the peace finger. So half happy baby or one-legged happy baby. So option to stay here, pulling your right knee towards the ground or towards your shoulder, or you can start to straighten that right leg just a little bit, still keeping a bend in it, but the heel is now activated towards the ceiling. You can pull your knee towards the ground or towards the armpit. And you want to press the big toe, your right big toe, into your right fingers while your right fingers pull on your big toe. So it's a little bit of a dynamic tension here to deepen the stretch. Couple more breaths here. Release your right toe. And we're going to bring your right leg to meet the left, so extending it all the way. Right leg comes down to the ground, right heel comes down to the ground. Taking a moment to notice the difference between the sides. And then when you're ready, start to bend your left knee, bringing it in towards your chest. Left arm comes into the inside of your left leg. Peace fingers reach for your big toe or maybe for your ankle. Left knee pulls towards the ground. And then we're going to start to straighten that leg just a little bit, still keeping a nice big deep bend, but we're just going to pull the heel towards the ceiling. And again, the big toe presses into the fingers pull back down on that big toe. Deepening the stretch through the hip. Release your big toe, bring your left hand or your left leg back down to meet the right. Now we're going to bring the right knee again in towards the chest, bending that right knee. And then we're going to drape the right knee to the left side of the body, finding a twist. So let the knee be heavy towards the ground, let gravity pull you into this twist. Option to have your arms be a T or a cactus. And then again, option to have your gaze move to your right shoulder for the full supine twist. As you inhale, fill the ribs with air, and as you exhale, find a little bit more of a twist or surrender into the shape. Being curious about where the breath is going. Be here for 5 more breaths. One more breath. Come back through center. Right leg extends to meet left, pausing to feel the difference between the sides. And then when you're ready, bring your left knee in towards your chest, and then drape your left knee to the right side of the body, letting gravity pull your left knee towards the ground, and then arms can become a T or a cactus. Gaze can move to your left side for the full supine twist. Inhale, filling the space between the ribs and the hip, filling the chest. Exhale, surrendering more into the twist. Five more breaths here. One more breath. Inhale, come back through center. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Bring your hands to the back of your thighs or to your knee pits, and as you inhale, fill the chest all the way with air. And as you exhale, bring your forehead towards your knees, rounding your spine, making yourself into a tiny little ball. And then release, bringing the soles of your feet back down to the ground. We're moving into our Shavasana shape, so take any movements that your body still needs before moving into Shavasana. As a reminder, Shavasana looks like many different things for many different people. So option 1 traditionally is to have your legs extended, feet relaxed, legs relaxed, and then arms can move to the sides. You can take up as much space as you want here, palms facing the ceiling. And just let your shoulders melt into the ground. Option 2 is to have your knees bent, feet mat distance apart, knees knocking in towards each other. This is a great alternative for people who have lower back sensitivities. And then another option is to have butterfly legs or reclined butterfly shape, or even a child's pose, basically any shape that feels good for you, that helps you feel relaxed and like you're being restored. So once you find your shape, go ahead and scan your body, searching for any tension that's tucked away, that's hidden, anything that you can let go of. Relaxing your toes, the tops of your feet, your ankles. Letting go of tension in your shins and your calves, in your knees and your thighs. Let go of tension in your hips, in your pelvis, your belly button. Relax your core and your chest. Let go of tension in your fingertips, the palms of your hands, your wrists. Relax your forearms, your elbows, your biceps. Relax your shoulders, your neck. Release any tension in your jaw, in your lips, in your nose, the space between your eyebrows, the space behind your eyelids. Relax your forehead. Let the back of your head be heavy on the mat. Let your whole body, all of your bones be heavy. We'll be here for just a couple of moments, a couple of minutes. If your mind wanders, if it can't quiet down, gently bring it back to the simple inhales and exhales. The softness of the breath. Slowly begin to welcome small movements back into your body. Connecting with the breath, maybe deepening the breath. Maybe wiggling your fingers or your toes. Or moving your head from side to side. And whenever you are ready, bring your knees in towards your chest. And then roll on to either side, finding a fetal position. You can use your bicep as a pillow. Just taking a couple of moments here. Gently prop yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Keeping your eyes closed if you can. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a moment here to be grateful for something, to express gratitude for something today. Go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you so much for being here today with me. I'm sorry about the technology hiccups. Thank you for being with me, and I hope that you all have a wonderful day.